Hello. Thank you for watching the replay. I'm here for another golden hour, astrology hour with you guys. Aloha, Kyra. Welcome, welcome. Aloha. I've been having so much fun doing these astrology astro hours with you guys. Hi, Lisa Miley. Aloha, sister. Welcome. How are you guys? So, giving some chance for everyone to come in. Hi, Jessie. Aloha. Welcome. Hello. Oh, I'm so happy that you're here too. Hi. Hi, Plantstone. So good to see you, sister. You guys, I know it's late for most everybody, except for people in Australia. But I really love doing this. It really works for my schedule. And doing it at sunset with you guys. It's so fun. And aloha, welcome. Hello, hello. You know, I used to have such, hi Kat. Hello, hello sister, so good to see you. Hi Malls. I used to have such, moving to Hawaii after living in San Francisco, because I totally used to, do you guys remember Periscope? Were you ever a Periscope person? I totally was. And I actually used to Periscope 5 days a week, and I would lead meditations, and it was so much fun. And I had a super schedule. I did that for maybe 2 months, and then I moved to Maui, and I would do it about right, briefly. This was before Instagram Live or before Facebook Live. There was this app called Periscope, and you could live stream. It was a big thing that you could live stream at that point. Oh, technology. So, but yeah, it was super fun, but I used to do it always at 6:30, 7, and that really worked for me. But then hey Marilyn, I totally got all hung up about it when I moved to Hawaii, because I was like, oh, it's so late for everybody else, everyone's gonna be asleep. And now I just don't worry about it. I just do whatever I want. So glad that you guys are all here. Thank you for everyone who's watching the replay. I'm super excited to share with you tonight. We're doing a little astrology series. So we have Astro Hour, and I'm starting a bit later, so we'll see if we actually make it to an hour because the sun will set. Which actually reminds me, I should turn my little light here, which you guys will think is really funny. I'll have to show you what my light looks like. This is totally my soul star throne. You rarely ever get on late, ever. Well, I am glad that you are here. Hi, Kelly. Okay, so that's I got my soul star direct channel turned on. Yes. Ready for the transmissions to come through. Perfect. Hello, Silva. Welcome. Okay, so I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight because today we've been doing our little astrology hours, and we've been having a lot of fun. If you missed the other ones, so we talked about the conjunction a couple days ago. We talked about the conjunction between Venus, the planet, and then the two asteroids, Sedna, the galactic mermaid, and Estrella, the star maiden, and how that was happening near the constellation of Pleiades. We talked about dragons. We talked about a lot of really amazing things. And then yesterday, we talked about why it's important to know how to read your chart. And if you know how to read your chart, then you go through and know what all the houses mean. So if you missed those two Instagram lives or any of the other live transmissions that I've done, you can go get them. They live in our Magic Tribe community, which is a community that is outside of Facebook. So it's not a Facebook group. It's on a platform called Mighty Networks. And you can join by, when you go to the link in my bio, you go down to the button that says join the magic tribe, and you'll be given instructions for how to join, and then you'll be able to go in there, and there's a tab that says Rakai'el's live transmissions, and that's where you'll be able to see all of my transmissions since I started recording them. So periscopes are not on there. So today we are talking about one of my favorite things to talk about relative to astrology. So we're going to talk about your soul purpose and how to find out in the chart. Hi Lisa, Lemurian priestess has arrived. So today we're talking about how to use your chart, right? So I know, my favorite thing to talk about ever. How to use your chart to find out about your soul purpose, what you're here to do, your mission. I could literally talk about this forever. So we'll try to keep it brief because this is just, so by the way, you guys, so I'm doing these Instagram astrology hours through Instagram Live to let you know about what it is that we are covering inside, to give you a little taste of what it is that we're covering inside of the Astro-Empowerment course. So if you don't know, currently the Astro-Empowerment course is open for enrollment. It is open through Friday mornings Pacific time. So the doors are closing Friday at noon Pacific time. So wherever you are in the world, if you're in Europe, it's probably going to be Thursday or Friday night for you. If you're in Australia, you'll probably be asleep when the doors close. So if you are considering joining us, please do so. You can get to the course through the link in my bio. It's a 6-month astrology immersion where you will learn how to read your chart. You will learn how to mentor with all the planets. You will completely understand all the signs, at least in the beginning, just of your journey, because I don't know if anyone can ever completely understand everything, right? You're joining tonight! Yes! So excited, Kelly! Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, we have so many amazing people coming in. It's just like, makes my heart so happy to see all of the people coming in, because I'm like, yes, you need to know, exactly, Lisa, right? So the other thing that I have to say is that, and I'm just going to be super transparent with you guys, the other thing that is happening because I'm promoting this course is that a lot of people are asking about sessions, right? So I do astrology sessions, astro coaching sessions, where basically we look at your chart, we go through everything, and ultimately that is me giving you fish, right? Are you guys familiar with that story? So ultimately that is me giving you a fish. Of course you will learn a little bit about how to fish, but if you join us for the Astro Empowerment course, you will know how to fish. And then you can just come for sessions just here and there, but you will actually really know how to take care of yourself. I wrote in my Instagram post today that it's like learning how to read your chart should be like a basic human self-care thing that we learn how to do, right? We learn how to bathe ourselves, we learn how to brush our teeth, we learn how to feed ourselves, we should, by golly, learn how to meditate and read our charts, right? So I just get a little bit up in arms about all of this because I just think it's so important, because I just know how empowering it is. So super stoked to do all of the sessions with everybody who has signed up, and just to know that it's like long term, like I don't actually want to do tons of astrology sessions. I have big plans, and I love to hang out with you, and I want you to be able to take care of yourselves. Real talk, just saying. So I'll give you a little insight here now, since we're talking about how to find out, how to get clues about what your soul purpose is in this lifetime from your chart. Ta-da! Okay. So, first of all, there are so many, because it's like your life purpose is who you are, right? It's not your work. It's not your career. It's not your job. Your life purpose in this world, what it is that you came here to do, is to be fully all that you are here to do. It's for you to be all of this, not just whatever's in this house and whatever's in this house and this is doing that to that and to whatever. It's for you to be all of this, for you to be an integrated human being, to shine your light in the fullness of all that you are, right? And when we're talking about your mission, what you came here to do, what you're naturally obsessed about, where it is that you have allies to support you in creating long-term success, there are things that are in your chart. And again, I always say, when it's like this, what I'm transmitting to you guys right now is like the tiniest little blip of insight. So I really, really, really do encourage you to either find books. There are tons of astrology books on the resources page on my website, to find a teacher, to get sessions, to take a class, whether it's the Astro-Empowerment course or another class. Like, I don't actually care. I just want you guys to know how to do this. So, right, because it's like almost kind of like just this little thing that I'm sharing now is just kind of taking it out of context, but I want to kind of dangle the carrot so that you guys get an idea that how valuable this information is. All the real talk is coming out today. So, okay, so it's like, where do I even start first? So, okay. So first of all, whenever we look at a chart, we always start with the ascendant. So if you missed my things about the ascendant and how to find your own chart and all that stuff, you can go check out my other Instagram lives, which again are in the Magic Tribe. You can find that through the link in my bio. Join the Magic Tribe. I also have a couple of, I talk about the ascendant in one of my Instagram TVs. So the ascendant is whenever you look at your chart, and if you want to look at your chart, you can go to astro.com, put in your birth information, and you can get your own chart for free. The app that I am using is called iPhemeris, iPhemeris, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. Codex of the Soul in the mail, and you found an old astrology book at a local. Perfect. Yes. Astrology of the Soul is one of the books that I recommend. Good job. Yes. Okay, so when you are looking at your chart, swap meet. Okay, right. So when you're looking at your chart and you look at your ascendant, whatever the sign of your ascendant is, so the ascendant gives you, okay, so your ascendant gives you kind of like an outsider's view of how other people see you. And how other people see you is important for you to know and integrate so that you can kind of understand the way that you appear to other people. Because if you're going to be going out there into the world, promoting yourself, offering your services, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is you came here to share, understanding the way in which people see and perceive you, and really amplifying that and owning that and integrating that will make it easier for you to promote yourself. So for example, the other day I was working with a woman, and she had the asteroid Astrea on right underneath her ascendant. And so if you're looking at your chart and you see, like, this is my chart. So if you see other things that are around your ascendant, other planets that are just above or planets that are just below, these things are all making up part of the persona, the personality, the projection, the way that other people see you. And so the more that you are aware of these things and you really consciously collaborate with these planets as archetypes, then it'll be more, the image that whatever it is that you're sharing with other people, when you own those parts of yourself, will be more coherent. So it's almost kind of like there is a pathway between you and the people you're here to serve. And when you own your ascendant, you integrate those attributes of whether you're a Virgo rising or a Gemini rising or a Cancer rising or whatever. Once you own and integrate those particular attributes and any of the planets that are also part of this, then, oh, you changed your picture. So I'm like, who is that? Oh, hey, Sasha, welcome. So what you actually might want to go back and listen to the beginning of this, because this is actually just a transmission that's coming through right now. I've never thought about this like this, but what we're talking about is the ascendant. And when you own the particular attributes of the sign that your ascendant is, and you also own the characteristics and qualities of the planets that are around your ascendant, right? Just as I was saying right here, when you own all of that, then it's almost like there's a path, like going through the woods or something. Love you too. There's a path that's going through the woods, and it's almost like when you own all attributes of the sign and all attributes of the planets that are around your ascendant, you make that path wider. And so you can travel on that path more easily, and other people can come to you more easily and more clearly. So the exchange of information and energy and abundance and all of that between you and other people is more clear, more easily, more fluid. And once you own all of those things that are your ascendant and are around your ascendant, the planets that are helping you. Right, that's your Sun, Chiron, and Mercury. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so you're the luminous shamanic communicator, right? Just made that up. So, thank you. So that's one place where you can look for how it is that you can get your message across more easily, more clearly, more completely when you're looking at the work that it is that you're here to share in the world. So the example that I was going to share with you guys was that there was a woman who I was sitting with the other day, and she's probably going to watch this, and so she has the asteroid Estrella, right, like just within her ascendant. And so Estrella is the star maiden. She is connected to the constellation of Virgo, and she's also the energy, just totally being super brief here. We talked about Estrella quite lengthy in the other Instagram live that I did when we were talking about dragon codes. So Estrella is the star maiden, and so she also represents the ways in which we really want to help humanity, because in the myth, Estrella was the last goddess to leave Earth when it was the fall, and like Mount Olympus was on fire, all the gods were leaving, shit was going down, it was looking bad, and so everybody was leaving and abandoning the humans, and Estrella was the last person to leave, and she was like, no, we can actually help the humans. So there's a real humanitarian service orient bent towards her, and she also, being the star maiden, she has that energy of the starseed frequency. And so we talked a lot about what starseed frequency is before. So for what I'm saying right now, it was really important for this woman to hear this, because she really, very personally, like on an inner level, it was something that she was afraid to share outwardly, right? As many of us are afraid to share about our magical qualities and attributes. So once I showed her, I was like, hey, like this is right here. And it's almost kind of like, you know, if this was her Estrella, that's my son, but if that was her Estrella, it's like everybody else sees it, but you're trying to hide it because it's unintegrated. It's not, you haven't owned it and integrated it into who you are and how you present yourself to the world, because that's what your ascendant is. So I was like, everybody else knows, like, you're trying to hide it and it's making it weird for everybody. So why don't you just like put on the whole costume and be like, I'm the fucking star maiden, and then like let that shine out through you. And okay, good. Yeah, you got to go back and look at the videos on Hygeia because she's close to your ascendant. Yes, perfect. Yeah. So it's just like, do everybody a favor. Stop trying to hide whatever it is that's, you know, in your first house or on your ascendant, either right below it or above it. And just be that and project that and own that, because that's how everybody's seeing you anyway. So if you're trying to share your message with the world, live your life purpose, do your dharma, it's really important for you to be coherent with how other people see you. Because there's an incongruency, then people are like, what the hell's going on? Why is she like acting weird? And we see this star maiden in her and she doesn't own it. So I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. So there's like a confusion in the energy field. So that's the first place. So whatever it is that's, and if you want to know more, please join us for the Astro-Empowerment course. You'll learn about all of the planets. So like if you have, you know, if you have like if you have planets that are on or below your ascendant, then you'll know what the energy of those planets are. You will know what the energy of the sign of your ascendant is. So you'll know how to integrate with all of that. Your sun and Pallas are just, so you are shining the light of the warrior wisdom goddess, right? Totally just like tink, tip of the iceberg of all of the magnitude of graciousness and grandness that Pallas Athena is. So that's like, so people see you as the goddess of wisdom and the strategic warrioress and all the things that she is. And so own that, like look up those myths, like find images of artwork of Pallas Athena, or even like Greek sculpture. I don't know if there's any sculptures of her, but like find that and then like bring her in as a spirit guide. Like ask her to walk with you, like get owl paraphernalia, because like her symbol is the owl. And so really it's like there's so many ways that we can bring in these energies, that we can weave these into our lives and really like integrate them beyond just intellectual ideas. So that's the main thing in the Astro-Empowerment course, is that I do not want astrology to be an intellectual mental exercise, because it's fundamentally not that. Owning my Aries Mars ascendant with the rest of your water. Yes. Yeah, girl. Take that action. Intuitive action. Get it. And Juno is conjunct. Maybe you should get married to yourself. First things first, right? Totally. Amazing. Okay, so your ascendant is one way for you to be really like coherent in how you approach and how you meet those people that you're here to serve. And that goes across for everything. That's not just a part about the people that you're here to serve. Okay. So the next place that we look for, I don't even know if I can like prioritize these things. Another place, another place that we look for what it is that you came here to do in the world. There's so many places. Okay, so another place that we look is your North Node. So again, I feel like these are not in order of preference. Your North Node. So we talk about the nodes in great detail in the course. So the North Node, whenever you're looking at your chart, and sometimes the nodes are not on the chart by default. I'm glad you love these combos. I love them too. I could talk about this all day long. Okay, so the North Node looks like a right side up horseshoe, okay? And there's two parts of this, okay? So there's the north node, and then immediately always across the chart, you will see the south node. And so the south node looks like an upside down horseshoe. They will always be at the same exact degrees, and they will always be in opposite signs. So this is opposite to this. This is Aquarius, this is Leo. So, you guys are getting all the details about me looking at my chart. If you know how to read it, maybe you should take the course. So, okay, so the nodes are not actually planets. They're mathematical calculations, and we'll talk more in the course about what the nodes are and where they come from and etc., etc. So, but short version, teeny tiny basic version, is that the south node is perfect, great, yes. So the south node is it's where you come from. And that's not quite the right way to say it, because you also come from like the nadir in your house, but in your chart. But so the south node, the one that's the upside down horseshoe like this is talked about as the dragon's tail. And so in traditional Western astrology, and this is why there's so many versions of astrology and so many ways to look at things. So, but in the traditional Western version of astrology, they talk about the south node as where the spirit or the soul is like leaving. It's leaving the chart. They talk about it like it's the dragon's tail. They often say that it's like defecating, that it's like dissociating, that it's disconnecting. This is the part, and again, this is the first way of talking about it. I'm going to tell you different ways, so stay on here for the second part at least. So it's like this part where your soul is trying to leave. And so in the traditional way of like talking about the south node, it's almost kind of like this is where you're draining energy, or where you can lose energy in your chart. So the way that I interpret it, and other people interpret it too, is that the south node is your past lives. So it's where you have been in a previous lifetime. So if you find in your chart that little upside down horseshoe shape, that's where you can see, hey Crystal, that's where you can see the sign, the characteristics and attributes that will give you clues. It is not by any means the complete picture, but this will give you clues as to who you were in a past life. And right, once we get out of this life experience here, it's not like, well, it was that past life and then there was the other one that was before that and then there was the other one before that, because once you get out of this experience, things are multidimensional, right? People talk about, oh, well, it's like you go from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, then the 144 dimensions, and it's like that is a linear third dimensional timeline. Like once you get out of here, it's everywhere, right? There's like classification and boxing things in and organizing things is a very third dimensional attribute. So it doesn't mean that necessarily you're reading together. Oh, good, great. Our reading together sheds so much light on your south node. Perfect. Yes, I know, I love this conversation on the nodes. All right, so south node it gives you the sign, whatever sign it is, gives you clues as to what characteristics you are currently coming into this lifetime with, that you are resourcing from a previous lifetime. So that does not mean that in the most recent past, oh no, I'm not even going to get into it again. So it just means that sign, and then whatever house it's in. And if you want to know about the houses, watch the video, the Instagram TV or Instagram Live from yesterday, where we talked about all the houses. It's in the Magic Tribe group. You get to the link in my bio, tap join the Magic Tribe, all the things. So the attributes of the house and the attributes of the sign of your south node will give you clues as to the flavor, the energy, the attributes of what it is that you, the characteristics and qualities that you brought into this lifetime from a previous lifetime. So the way that I like to talk about that is that whatever your south node is, the sign in the house will tell you the qualities and the skills and the resources and the talents and the abilities that you packed into your suitcase from a previous lifetime to bring into this lifetime. Okay? So hold that thought there. So then your north node, which is the upside down horseshoe shape. So whatever house and whatever sign that is in, that will give you clues. The characteristics of that sign and the characteristics of that house will give you clues as to where you're going in this lifetime. So for example, if you have a south node in Virgo and your north node in Pisces, then it could be that you brought in with you all of the characteristics, habits, qualities, and abilities of Virgo, and then whatever house it's in. And then your job is to unpack all of those things that you packed into your suitcase, all of those gifts, talents, abilities, skills, healing abilities, intuitive wisdom, whatever it was. And you're going to, once you have all that stuff unpacked, you will then apply it on the path of your soul's evolution that will take you, this is your soul's evolution, so it will take you into your next lifetime. And so again, this is linear, but it's like, it's almost kind of like, so if you have a Pisces south node, you could say that in a previous lifetime if you have a Virgo south node, then you could say, in one sense, it could say that in a previous lifetime you were a Virgo and you brought in all of those skills because you totally know about that, and now you're going into the next lifetime your next lifetime you'll be a Pisces, and so you are meant to apply and resource everything that you learned as a Virgo in order to take you on that journey of your north node. So that said, the path of your soul's evolution is not always easy. Aloha, Birgit. Welcome, sister. So the path of your soul's evolution is not always easy. And I will say, too, what I have noticed is that if you are under 29, then whatever attributes, a lot of times, whatever attributes are connected to your north node. If you're under 29, you have not gone through your Saturn return yet, and this is not for everybody, but sometimes when I sit with people who it's like we talk about their north and their south node, and they're like, what? Like when we talk about their north node and they're like, I don't think so. Like, that's not me. It's like it can be out of reach. It can be inaccessible. And from what I've seen, it really, even if you do know, if you're well-versed in astrology and you know what your nodes are and you do really resonate with that path of going into your north node, what I have seen is that it blossoms once you move through your Saturn return. So if you already have a handle on it, amazing. And once you go through your Saturn return, it'll be even better. Like, great. You'll be more clear, more dialed, more on it, and it will be better. So just to say on both sides of the coin, if you are looking at your north node and you're kind of like, I don't know, none of that makes sense. I don't even recognize that in myself. And you're under 29 or you're 29, like, don't worry. It will come. It'll unfold for you. And if you're beyond that, then it's like, okay, well, how do I integrate these things? What is this lesson? So because when you go through your Saturn return, when you're 29, 30, 31, even into 32, depending on where Saturn is in your chart, Saturn comes back to be like, what the F are you doing with your life? Like, we got a taskmaster is here. Let's go through the agenda. Like, what did you do over the last 29 and a half years? Like, okay, we're building the foundation for the next 30. Come on, let's go. So those two places, that place is where you can look for clues about what it is that you came here to do, what it is that you came here to share, the magic that you're here to create and build in the world. And so again, this is just like tiniest little slice of information. I'm really trying not to butcher it by the smallness of what I can share with you guys in this space, because we sit with this for a long time in the Astro-Empowerment course, and you have a long time to integrate it. And you're in a community of people who also speak the language, and you can reflect back to each other. So it's really, really amazing. So if you're digging this, please go to the link in my bio, check out the information for Astro-Empowerment. The doors are closing on Friday. It would be amazing to swim in the stars with you. Okay. So then more places where you can look in your chart for ideas and support around what it is that you came here to do is, so a couple of things. Okay, so one of the places, gosh, like I said, it's just like when you're an integrated human, you naturally live what it is that you came here to do. Like your dharma is not an issue because it just like comes out of you. So when you learn to integrate your whole chart, it just happens. Or you learn to integrate any part of your chart. So another place that you can look for what it is that you came here to do, in my opinion, is wherever you have Pluto is a very interesting placement. So in your chart, you'll find this symbol, this red symbol right here. So this is the symbol of Pluto. And so wherever you have Pluto in your chart, whatever house and whatever sign it's in, it will give you clues about many things. But one of the clues that it will give you is like what you are obsessed about, like what you have a natural obsession towards finding out, figuring out, talking about, being about, learning about, creating about, whatever it is. And so, so wherever it is that you have Pluto in your chart, you can actually invoke that. So this is what we talk about when it's like, so because Pluto is such a subterranean energy, it rules our like psyche and like our deep primal urges and the ways in which we control each other and so many deeper things. And it's also like where you're like whatever house it's in will tell you where you have a natural obsession about something. And so Lisa, if you're still here, can you tell us where your Pluto is? Because we had a whole discussion about this in the Lemurian leadership course. So you can actually resource that obsessive tendency. And you can actually not demonize it. You can actually invoke it as a way in which you can find the energy and the passion. And these are Mars words, but maybe because my Mars is square Pluto, but it's like you can find the obsessive energy, because when you're obsessed about something, it's tireless, right? It's like you have ultimate unlimited energy to explore that, whatever it is, and to like be that, share that, do that, create that, whatever it is. So I don't know if Lisa's still here, but we'll talk about my chart since it's here. So for me, I have Pluto in the 10th. And so the 10th house is, we talked about yesterday, the path of your career, fame, destiny, reputation in the world. And so I am a Capricorn, but it's like I am obsessed about my business. I'm obsessed about the legacy that I'm here to leave. I'm obsessed by creating powerful transformation through my career, through my reputation. Your hands are full. No worries. And so once I learned to resource that, like when I was working with the shaman that I used to work with, Oh, great. We can talk about that. When I was mentoring with a shaman that I used to work with, she was looking at my chart and she was like, you should take Pluto as a spirit guide. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I was like, I don't know about Pluto. Like I looked into the dark goddess because I was like, I understand Kali, right? I was like, okay, well, how can I get into this? Like, since I don't like really know like Pluto. Since then, I've gotten to know Pluto, and it's never-ending conversation. It's never-ending exploration. But once I really learned that was where I was naturally inclined to be obsessed, I was like, oh, well, I can actually like invoke that obsession. I can call that forth as an energy within me so that I can like find that inspired, motivated, action driven, oriented, tireless, striving energy to bring forward in the work that I do. And I can make the work that I do even more deeply transformational. So transformation is also a key part of Pluto, where you will find transformation and obsession, among other things, in your chart. Okay, so Lisa said that she's got Pluto in the relationship 7th house. So we talked about that. And if you don't have your hands full, if you want to share anything about that. But so having Pluto in the 7th house tells us that this person, according to the language of the stars, will have a natural obsession towards relating with others. And this can be, of course, everything can exist in a shadow and in an illuminated space. So in a shadow frequency, that could be like literally like you get obsessed with the people that you date. It could be like power manipulations, power struggles, like all kinds of things that could manifest through that. And when you invoke the energy of Pluto from the obsessive nature to find what it is that you came here to share, because wherever you're obsessed, you have tireless energy for. So someone who has Pluto in the 7th will have big lessons in an intimate relationship around your Saturn return, also in the 7th house. Yeah, totally. So it's like, and it's not just, the 7th house is not just your romantic partnerships by any means. The 7th house is all forms of partnerships. It's also the house of open enemies. So it's like your frenemies, the people that you love and love to hate. The people, like, it could be your business partners, your roommates, it could be your romantic partners, it can be friends that you hang out with. We talked about all this yesterday in the other one. But resourcing that as an obsessive nature in your 7th house could be that it's like really giving yourself full permission to put the energy and invest into creating powerful relationships in your life, like strategic partnerships in your business, being obsessed about collaborating with other people, finding ways in which you can utilize collaborative energy and partnership dynamics in your work. And so whether that's like you have a business partner in your business, or you collaborate with lots of different people by bringing them in as experts into your business, or doing things like doing artwork collaborations. There's so many ways in which it can manifest. So Pluto is one. So we talked about ascendant, we talked about nodes, we talked about where Pluto is, and so now we talk about the midheaven. Okay, so the midheaven is also a place where you can look, and so the midheaven is the very top of your chart. So it's going to be what's called the MC. Okay, so mine's right next to Pluto. So it's the MC, and wherever it is, depending on the house system that you're using, most likely it's going to be at the juncture between the 9th and the 10th house. So that's the midheaven. It's the apex of the chart. And so what the midheaven is that the way that I like to describe it is that it is the constellation. So whatever it is, for me, it's Libra, that constellation, when you were born, that constellation was up at the highest point in the sky. And so that's the constellation that's been like this celestial mobile. You can imagine yourself a little baby in your crib. And that's been the celestial mobile that's been like twinkling and winking at you and singing songs to you ever since you were a little baby. So the characteristics and qualities of that sign, whatever it's in, will give you clues as to like what's been this beacon of light, almost like that starlight that's been your guiding star throughout your life. And it's also, whatever your midheaven is in, it's also the energy that you project to others. And this is a different projection from your ascendant. So the midheaven projection is your reputation. So it's also, in the age of the internet, it's like what you're known as on the internet. Like the persona that you are on the internet is often connected to the archetypal energies of the sign of whatever your midheaven is in. And so so it's almost like, so what my teacher says is that your midheaven is, the sign of your midheaven shows you the frequency of the energy that people can see about you from 2,000 miles away. Okay? So almost kind of like it's that, like you're projecting this midheaven frequency up at the top of your chart. And so that's your reputation that precedes you. So that's like, you know, your persona on Instagram. And then, or in old days, it would be your reputation, right? People in town would know you through your reputation or your family's reputation or something like that. And so then when you meet somebody in person and you like shake hands with them, you're meeting their ascendant. So you've known them through the projection of their midheaven. And so then when you meet them for the first time, you shake hands with them, you're shaking hands with their ascendant. Once you get to know them, you get to discover other layers of them. So again, integrating, you know, right? So it's like whenever you look at the top of your chart and you see whatever the sign is that's up at the top of your chart, where your midheaven is, and then you also see the planets that are active up there as well, and you really start collaborating with those planets as spirit guides and allies and teachers, etc., and you start invoking them, then that will create more coherence between the projection that you're putting out there and what it is that people get to interact with when they actually get to interact with you. So that creates more coherence. The other thing that the midheaven is like, it's almost kind of like that invisible thread that like pulls you into alignment. So again, the more that you can integrate and own the attributes of the sign that your midheaven is in and the other surrounding planets, then the more that you will be able to like really be in alignment with what it is that you came here to do. Of course, the midheaven is also up at the juncture of your 9th house, which is higher learning, higher education, and the 10th house, which is your career, fame, destiny, reputation in the world, the legacy that you came here to leave. So owning and integrating the signs of your midheaven will give you those abilities. So we have a little bit more time. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just kind of going on and on and on. While you guys think about if you have questions, I'm going to open this window because it's getting dark. Our sunset golden hour astrology dive is coming to a close because of sunset. Okay. So I'm going to share one more place where you can look for what it is that you came here to do in the world. Okay, and so this is where your Saturn is. And I'm like such not a good example because all these things are happening in the same place in my chart. So this is the symbol for Saturn right here, this green symbol. That's the symbol for Saturn. And so again, whatever house you find the Lord of Karma in, then you will, so wherever Saturn is in your chart is where, through diligent focus, long-term hard work over time, slow and steady wins the race. So wherever you have Saturn in your chart is where you have the opportunity to create long-term lasting success. And it will not, it's not to say that it won't come easy, but it's like, it will require diligence, determination, discipline, devotion, lots of time, lots of effort, lots of energy. That doesn't have to be hard, right? Because it's like when you're fucking inspired about something, you're doing the damn thing because you fucking love it, right? It's like, I saw this quote the other day, it was so good, where it was like, discipline, oh, I'm misplacing the quote, but it's like, basically it was like, discipline is easy for those who really want it. And so it doesn't have to be hard if you just decide that you're like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I have this ally in my chart that is giving me the stability and the structure in order to do the things, to build the structures, to put in the time and effort, to really get clear about the legacy that I'm here to leave, and to be responsible for that. In Hawaiian, they call this your kuleana, where it's like, this is your responsibility. And so it's almost kind of like, and people have different kuleana, right? It's like someone who is an incredible singer, like their kuleana would be to like share that song, or it's like someone's whose kuleana is to care for a particular piece of land. Then it's like, that's their kuleana, that's their work, that's their mission, that's their responsibility. And so wherever Saturn is in your chart, that's your kuleana, that's your responsibility, that's where you'll be required all that discipline and determination. But over time, you will achieve long-term lasting success, because that is what Saturn gives you over time. And a key thing to really just hone in, I kind of mentioned it a little bit, but Saturn, the ultimate goal of Saturn is always to give you the invitation to really reclaim your sovereignty. Saturn is all about sovereignty. It's all about you not giving away your power to other people, and it's you really coming back to yourself and saying, this is what I want, this is what I decide for myself, this is what I'm going to create for myself, because this is what feels good for me. Not what my father said, not what the patriarchy said, not what my family said, not what my culture said. And it's a deprogramming that has to happen, and Saturn helps us with that. So anyway, so those are key places you can look in your chart where you can get clues as to your mission, your purpose, your soul's purpose, your dharma. And again, please do not let this be the only thing you ever watch or read or listen to on this. This is so surface level. There's so much more. It's so much deeper. It's so much more involved. And you can really benefit so much more by really doing the work to learn everything that's connected to this. So if you want to learn more about how to do all of that, please tap the link in my bio. We are doing the open enrollment now for the Astro-Empowerment course. It is a 6-month deep dive immersion into all things astrology. So we talk about the charts, we talk about the signs, we talk about the planets, we talk about the asteroids, we talk about the eclipses that are coming up, we talk about how to read transits, we talk about the aspects that are happening, the sacred geometry that's happening in your chart, we talk about planetary initiations throughout your lifetime. We talk about all of the things. At the end of the class, you will definitely know how to read your chart, how to know what the astrological weather is that is coming up for you, and you'll also be able to look back in your life and to understand what the F was going on in 2016, because that was a shit show, or you'll be able to understand what happened to you at different timelines, and you'll just be able to really find a deeper compassion and understanding and love for yourself. So the more awareness that we have, the more love we have for ourselves, the more that we can create compassion for ourselves and others. Okay, you're totally new here. Are our astrology charts always changing? No. So no and yes, okay? Your astrology chart is a snapshot of the cosmic conversation that was happening between the planets and the sun on the day or evening, night, whatever, when you were born. So that snapshot doesn't change. You love these lives. Yay, me too. That snapshot does not change. I did talk about that snapshot in an Instagram TV that I did, so go check that out. It's called Is It Possible? Something like, is it possible to do an astrology chart when you don't know the birth time? But it's not set in stone per se, because this is basically the menu of opportunities that are available to you in your lifetime. And this menu can manifest in like 42 different ways. And amazing. And so, even this one menu item per se right here, like this one menu item of having like Uranus in the 11th house in Scorpio, that can manifest in so many different ways. And so it's up to you about how you choose what your life path is, about how that's going to manifest for you. And so it's also going to be relative. Your chart changes the longer, not the longer, but the more all the different planetary initiations that you go through. So your chart will appear to you in one way as one set of options, and then when you go through there are many planetary initiations, but like a big one that we're familiar with is the Saturn return. And so when you go through your Saturn return, your whole chart changes, because you've changed, right? It's like when you read a book and then you go to a retreat, or you go to Burning Man, or you have some other kind of you do LSD for the first time or whatever. Whenever you have a transformational experience, then you have a whole different experience. You go back and you read that book and it's different, right? It's different things pop out of that book that didn't pop out before. So your chart is it's in one way, it's a snapshot, so it's stable, but it's a multi-dimensional thing, just like you. You are a multi-dimensional person. So your chart is not stagnant, and neither are you. And so you're going through different activations and initiations all the time that make certain things available to you that were not previously available in the same way. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, guys, the sun has set. We are coming to the end of our time together. And so I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you've learned something. And I hope that this is not all that you learn about astrology. It's weird to say, but astrology makes you so excited for the future because you love seeing what's coming up. Yay! I know, right? It's like so many activations. It's so all changing. All right, my loves. So if you want to learn more about astrology, meaning you want to learn more about yourself and all of the amazingness of all that you are and all of the opportunities that are stretching out in front of you, along with all of the challenges, and so you'll know how to utilize those challenges and to get out in front of the wave so that you can surf the wave so you don't get crushed by the wave when it comes in, go to the link in my bio. Check out the Astro-Empowerment course. Doors are open until Friday at noon Pacific time. It would be such an honor to swim in the stars with you, to share everything I know about all things cosmic and galactic and astrological, so that you can be more empowered, to know yourself more, to love yourself more, to understand yourself more, and so that you can know and understand the people around you better. Self-awareness is self-love, and it is available to you in many ways, including through the stars. So I love you guys. I'll take you guys out here so we can look at the sunset together. The colors are so beautiful. Turn this around. Does it let me turn this around? I'm gonna turn around. There we go. Yay! Mahalo Maui. Yes. All right. Looking forward to seeing you in the Astro Empowerment course. Aloha.